Before we begin, a quick and important disclaimer. The content provided in this video is for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute professional legal, financial, tax, or investment advice. The mechanics of divorce involving substantial assets, corporate structures, and multi-jurisdictional legal frameworks are highly complex and subject to varying state laws. Viewers must conduct their own due diligence and consult with qualified legal and financial professionals regarding their specific circumstances before making any decisions. Every single minute in the United States, approximately 2 divorces are finalized. While the emotional toll of a dissolving marriage dominates public perception, a quiet, massive, and highly sophisticated parallel economy operates entirely behind closed doors. We are not just talking about traditional courtroom battles or standard legal fees. We are uncovering a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem populated by elite forensic accountants, high-stakes real estate valuation experts, specialized psychological consultants, business valuation analysts, and niche asset recovery agents. When a high-net-worth marriage disintegrates, it triggers a massive wealth redistribution event that fuels an entire industry of highly paid professionals whose sole job is to trace, value, divide, and protect capital. For example, in high-profile separations involving corporate executives or tech founders, the cost of simply auditing a couple's lifestyle to establish alimony can easily surpass hundreds of thousands of dollars before a single court date is even scheduled. This video is the first part of an exhaustive 10-part deep dive masterclass into the massive economic footprint of the professionals who profit from, manage, and facilitate the divorce journey in America. We will pull back the curtain on how wealth moves through the family court system, how professionals command astronomical fees, and how the collateral industries, from luxury real estate liquidation to private security, reap massive windfalls from matrimonial collapse. If you have ever wondered where the money actually goes when a major marriage falls apart, or how an entire economy has been engineered around the dissolution of the American household, this masterclass is designed specifically for you. By analyzing historical trends, granular case studies, and the structural mechanics of asset division, we will provide a comprehensive understanding of the financial reality behind the scenes. This is not about basic survival tips. It is a systematic breakdown of the institutional and economic forces that govern marital dissolution in the United States today. To truly understand the scale of this economic sector, we must first analyze the primary drivers of cost, beginning with the legal architects of the process, matrimonial attorneys. In the United States, the legal framework governing divorce relies heavily on state-specific statutes, dividing the country primarily into equitable distribution states and community property states. In community property states like California or Texas, assets acquired during the marriage are generally split equally, whereas in equitable distribution states like New York or Florida, the division is based on what the court deems fair, which is rarely a clean 50-50 split. This structural ambiguity inherent in equitable distribution creates an immense demand for legal billing hours. High-end family law practitioners in major metropolitan areas routinely command hourly rates ranging from $700 to upwards of $1,500 per hour. When a case involves complex marital estates, such as offshore trusts, restricted stock units, or closely held family businesses, the litigation can extend for years. A typical retainer fee for an elite family law firm can start at $25,000 just to review the initial filings, and total legal fees can quickly escalate into 7-figure territory. Beyond the attorneys, the modern divorce economy relies heavily on specialized financial investigators known as forensic accountants. When vast sums of money are on the line, the incentive to conceal assets grows exponentially. Forensic accountants are brought in to perform lifestyle analyses and asset tracing. A lifestyle analysis involves a meticulous review of bank statements, credit card ledgers, tax returns, and corporate filings over a multi-year period to determine the true standard of living during the marriage. This calculation is vital because it dictates the potential outcomes for spousal support and alimony. If a spouse claims their corporate income is minimal, but their lifestyle analysis reveals millions of dollars in personal expenses paid through a corporate shell company, such as luxury vehicle leases, private jet charters, or international travel, the forensic accountant exposes the discrepancy. These professionals typically charge between $300 and $600 per hour, and a comprehensive forensic audit for a complex estate can require hundreds of hours of labor, resulting in massive fees that contribute significantly to the overall economic footprint of the industry. Another critical pillar of this ecosystem is the business valuation analyst. In many high-net-worth divorces, the most valuable asset is not real estate or a liquid investment portfolio, but a privately owned business or a partnership stake in a professional practice, such as a medical group or a law firm. Valuing a private business for the purpose of a marital split is an incredibly complex science. Analysts must evaluate historical cash flows, market volatility, intellectual property, and goodwill. They must determine what portion of the business's success is due to the enterprise itself versus the personal reputation of the operating spouse, a concept known as personal goodwill. The methodology used, whether it is the asset-based approach, the market approach, or the income approach using discounted cash flow models, can alter the final valuation by millions of dollars. Because both sides of a divorce will typically hire their own independent valuation experts, the process often turns into a highly technical battle of data, with each firm charging tens of thousands of dollars to produce competing valuation reports and testify in depositions or open court. We also cannot overlook the real estate sector's specialized involvement in the divorce journey. The marital home, along with secondary vacation properties and investment real estate portfolios, must be appraised and often liquidated. This has given rise to certified divorce real estate experts. These are real estate agents and brokers who have undergone specific training to navigate the legal and emotional minefields of selling property during a contested divorce. When a court orders the sale of a luxury estate, the listing agent must remain completely neutral, dealing with two hostile parties who may disagree on listing prices, staging, and accepting offers. The transaction costs alone, including specialized appraisals, title searches, deferred maintenance repairs, and standard brokerage commissions, represent a significant transfer of wealth from the divorcing couple to the real estate services sector. In a multimillion-dollar property sale, the 6% commission split between brokers represents a massive financial injection into the local economy, directly funded by the dissolution of the marriage. As we progress through this 10-part masterclass, we will systematically break down every single one of these professional sectors. We will look at the precise mechanisms of asset hidden and found strategies, the actuarial realities of pension valuation, the tax implications of dividing retirement accounts, and the psychological consulting industry that manages parental custody evaluations. The economic footprint of the American divorce journey is vast, interconnected, and highly lucrative for those trained to navigate its complexities. By understanding these structures, you will gain an entirely new perspective on the financial realities of the legal system and the professional forces that shape the distribution of wealth in America today. To understand the true scale of this economy, we have to look directly at the battleground where the most complex financial warfare takes place: the high-stakes world of forensic accounting and corporate asset tracing. Imagine a scenario unfolding right now in 2026. Let us look at a corporate executive named Robert, a senior vice president at a major logistics firm in Ohio, and his spouse Sarah, who managed the household for 2 decades. On paper, Robert earns a highly impressive but seemingly straightforward base salary of $450,000. If this were a standard, low-conflict dissolution, a basic review of W-2 forms and standard bank accounts might wrap up the asset division in a few months. But under the surface of modern executive compensation packages in 2026, a base salary is merely the tip of a massive financial iceberg. This is where the specialized economy of forensic accounting enters the picture, shifting the entire financial trajectory of the case. Robert's true compensation includes restricted stock units, performance-based share options, deferred compensation plans tied to future corporate milestones, and complex performance bonuses routed through secondary LLCs. The untrained eye, these financial instruments look like hypothetical future value or liquid corporate mechanisms. To an elite forensic accountant charging $500 an hour, this is a treasure map. The forensic accountant must execute a meticulous, step-by-step audit to calculate what is historically referred to as the marital standard of living. This process requires tracing every single dollar that moved through Robert's corporate expense accounts over the last 7 to 10 years. Let us break down exactly how these professionals earn their massive fees through a process called lifestyle analysis. The forensic analyst begins by subpoenaing not just the joint personal bank accounts, but the corporate credit card ledgers, travel logs, and reimbursement requests from Robert's employer. They look for personal expenses disguised as corporate necessities. For instance, if Robert took a corporate jet to a logistics conference in Miami, but extended the stay for a 5-day luxury vacation, the forensic accountant calculates the exact cash value of that personal benefit. They audit country club memberships, elite health club renewals, high-end dinners, and even specialized concierge medical services paid through corporate health accounts. In historical trends observed across high-net-worth filings in federal and state courts, these hidden corporate perks can add anywhere from $50,000 to $300,000 of invisible annual income back into the marital pool. By uncovering this data, the professional directly alters the potential outcomes for alimony and child support calculations. The financial deep dive goes even further when dealing with closely held family businesses or independent consultancies established during the marriage. Let us look at another case study involving a digital marketing agency owner in Austin, Texas, named Mark. When his marriage began to dissolve, the agency's reported net profitability mysteriously plummeted by 40%. The revenue historical trends looked stable, but the net income available for distribution suddenly vanished. Mark's spouse hired a forensic accounting firm specializing in digital enterprise audits. The step-by-step investigation revealed a classic pattern of marital asset manipulation. The business valuation analysts and forensic accountants worked in tandem, matching every outgoing invoice with internal project logs. They discovered that Mark had begun delaying the billing cycles for major corporate clients, intentionally pushing hundreds of thousands of dollars in guaranteed contract revenue into the next fiscal year, safely past the projected date of the divorce finalization. Furthermore, the audit uncovered multiple phantom employees on the corporate payroll, specifically, independent contractors who were actually personal friends receiving monthly retainer fees for minimal or non-existent services, with the unspoken understanding that these funds would be settled or returned after the court proceedings concluded. The professionals processing this audit do not just look at bank statements. They deploy advanced data mining software that flags anomalies in purchasing behavior, tracks metadata on deleted financial spreadsheets, and reconstructs fragmented digital ledgers. The cost for this level of expertise is immense. A team consisting of a lead forensic partner, 2 senior staff analysts, and a digital forensics technician can easily rack up 80 to 100 hours of billable time in a single month. At a blended rate of $400 an hour, that represents a $40,000 monthly injection into the professional services sector, entirely funded by the liquid reserves of the divorcing couple. This brings us to the next specialized layer of the divorce ecosystem: the intellectual property and digital asset valuation experts. In 2026, the nature of wealth has fundamentally shifted from physical assets to intangible digital infrastructure. Consider the economic footprint generated when valuing modern assets like high-yield algorithmic trading portfolios, automated e-commerce storefronts, private SaaS applications, or large-scale digital content networks. If a spouse created a highly lucrative online education platform during the marriage that generates recurring subscription revenue, how do you value its future earning potential when the creator is leaving the business? An intellectual property valuation expert must step in to determine the precise economic value of the brand, the proprietary software code, and the subscriber database. They apply complex mathematical formulas, adjusting for market saturation, technological obsolescence, and consumer churn rates. If the platform is valued at $5 million, the non-operating spouse may be entitled to a significant cash buyout. To fund this buyout, the operating spouse often has to secure specialized corporate financing or liquidate other traditional assets like real estate, triggering an entirely new wave of fees for commercial lenders, mortgage brokers, and tax advisory firms. The economic footprint of these professionals is not isolated. It is a compounding chain reaction. Every financial stone turned over by a forensic accountant requires a corresponding legal response from the opposing side's counsel. If one side hires an expert to prove a business is worth $5 million, the other side must hire a competing expert to prove it is only worth $2 million. This creates a highly profitable adversarial loop, where the only certainty is the continuous accumulation of billable hours for the professional class. The capital does not disappear from the U.S. economy. Instead, it is systematically transferred from the private wealth of American families directly into the balance sheets of specialized financial and legal practices. But what happens when the assets are not just hidden in complex corporate structures or digital networks, but are physically tied up in the most sentimental and highly contested asset of all, the luxury matrimonial home? When the emotional stakes match the financial stakes, a whole new tier of specialized real estate liquidators, structural inspectors, and title investigators step into the arena to claim their piece of the multi-billion-dollar divorce journey. As we prepare to look at how these high-end real estate assets are divided, contested, and leveraged, we have to look at the hidden risks that most couples completely overlook until it is far too late. In the next part of this masterclass, we will expose the secret tactics used by elite real estate professionals to navigate deadlocked couples, how hidden property liens can decimate an expected inheritance, and the exact step-by-step mechanics of how equity is extracted or liquidated under intense court pressure. The luxury matrimonial home is not just a physical structure, it is an emotional fortress and simultaneously, one of the most volatile financial battlegrounds in the entire American legal landscape. When a high-net-worth marriage fractures, the family residence frequently becomes a weapon used by opposing parties to exert leverage, stall proceedings, or force massive cash settlements. This specific friction point has given rise to a highly specialized, elite class of real estate professionals who operate exclusively within the family court ecosystem. These are not your average neighborhood real estate agents who put up a yard sign and host weekend open houses. These are certified divorce real estate experts, specialized real estate attorneys, neutral appraisers, and title dispute investigators who manage property transfers under intense hostility, scrutiny, and court mandates. To grasp how this subsector of the economy functions right now in 2026, let us look at a highly common case study. Imagine a couple named David and Jennifer, who reside in a premium masterplan community in Scottsdale, Arizona. Their primary marital home is valued at approximately $3.5 million. In addition to this property, the marital estate includes a secondary luxury condominium in Aspen, Colorado, and a high-yield short-term rental property in Malibu, California. Jennifer wants to keep the Scottsdale home to maintain stability for their teenage children and preserve her established social network. David, on the other hand, wants the property liquidated immediately to free up capital, clear the outstanding mortgage, and distribute the net equity so he can invest in a new commercial venture. This classic deadlock is where the billable hours for real estate divorce specialists begin to compound exponentially. The first step-by-step process required by the court is a neutral, comprehensive appraisal of all real property. In a standard real estate transaction, an appraisal costs a few $100s and takes a week. In a high-conflict divorce, a standard appraisal is almost never accepted by both sides. David's legal team will hire an independent appraiser who might look at conservative market comparables, historical trends of minor price corrections in the Southwest region, and potential structural defects to argue that the Scottsdale home is only worth $3 million. By lowering the valuation, David minimizes the amount of cash he would have to pay Jennifer to buy out her share of the equity. Simultaneously, Jennifer's legal counsel will hire their own valuation expert who focuses on premium upgrades, local school district rankings, and the scarcity of luxury inventory to argue the home is worth $4 million. When competing appraisals differ by $1 million, the court often steps in to appoint its own neutral, third-party appraiser. This neutral expert charges premium fees, often ranging from $3,000 to $10,000 per property, because they must produce a bulletproof, legally defensible valuation report that can withstand aggressive cross-examination by two sets of hostile trial lawyers. The economic footprint expands as these appraisers spend hours reviewing historical trends, calculating depreciation, and sitting in deposition chairs, billing at hourly rates that rival elite corporate attorneys. Once a valuation is established or a judge orders the mandatory liquidation of the properties, the certified divorce real estate expert takes control of the listing. The operational reality of selling a home under a court order requires an incredible amount of procedural precision. The agent must remain entirely neutral, communicating identical information to David and Jennifer through their respective legal counsels to prevent claims of bias. Imagine the logistical nightmare of preparing a luxury home for sale when one spouse refuses to allow inspectors onto the property, or intentionally leaves the house in disarray to discourage potential buyers and drive down the ultimate sale price. The specialized agent must utilize specific legal mechanisms, such as court-ordered access agreements, to bring in professional staging companies, deep cleaning crews, and structural inspectors. All of these secondary professionals charge premium rates because they are entering a high-risk, high-stress litigation environment. The financial transaction itself represents a massive redistribution of marital wealth directly into the service economy. On the $3.5 million Scottsdale home alone, a standard 5 to 6% real estate commission amounts to nearly $200,000. This massive fee is carved directly out of the couple's hard-earned equity before a single dollar reaches their separate bank accounts. Furthermore, escrow companies, title insurance providers, and mortgage underwriting specialists who facilitate the payout of the existing debt and the creation of new financing structures reap substantial windfalls. If Jennifer decides she wants to buy out David's equity share, She cannot simply take over the existing mortgage. In 2026, banking regulations require her to completely refinance the property under her sole name, proving independent income sufficiency to carry the massive debt load. This refinancing process triggers thousands of dollars in loan origination fees, title search fees, and underwriting costs, injecting more capital directly into the financial services sector. The situation becomes even more financially perilous when a title dispute investigator uncovers hidden property liens or encumbrances during the due diligence phase. Let us examine a historical trend where an operating spouse quietly utilizes the marital property as collateral for undisclosed business loans or personal lines of credit without the other spouse's knowledge. If David had quietly taken out a secondary business line of credit secured by the Aspen condominium to keep his logistics company afloat during a tough fiscal quarter, that lien must be completely satisfied at the closing table before any equity can be divided. If the outstanding debt on that secret lien is $500,000, it can completely decimate the expected inheritance or cash settlement that Jennifer was relying on to rebuild her post-divorce life. Uncovering these hidden liabilities requires hours of meticulous title searches, public record audits, and legal interventions by specialized real estate litigators, further inflating the total economic cost of the journey. This real estate friction point is tightly linked to another rapidly growing sector within the divorce economy: the specialized moving, storage, and asset liquidation industries. When a sprawling luxury estate is ordered sold, decades of high-end consumer acquisitions must be cataloged, packed, stored, or auctioned off. This is not a matter of renting a moving truck and asking friends for assistance. High net worth asset division requires professional inventory managers who photograph, tag, and log every piece of fine art, custom furniture, high-end electronics, and luxury vehicle collection. If there is a dispute over who owns a specific collection of mid-century modern art, or a climate-controlled wine cellar containing thousands of rare vintages, those items are frequently moved into high-security, climate-controlled storage facilities. These storage operations charge thousands of dollars in monthly fees, effectively holding the physical manifestations of the marriage hostage, while the legal teams argue over their depreciated value. The economic footprint of the professionals aiding the divorce journey is an intricate, self-sustaining web. The litigation over the house fuels the appraisers fuel the real estate experts, the real estate experts fuel the title investigators and refinancing banks, and the physical displacement of the household fuels the logistics and storage conglomerates. Every single conflict point is a monetization opportunity for the professional class. But as massive as the real estate and physical asset economy is, it pales in comparison to the hidden financial battlefield that governs the ultimate long-term security of American professionals: the division of massive retirement portfolios, corporate pensions, and complex tax mitigation strategies. When millions of dollars are locked away in tax-advantaged accounts, a simple mistake in a legal document can trigger catastrophic penalties from the Internal Revenue Service. In the next part of this masterclass, we will pull back the curtain on the hyper-specialized legal technicians known as QDRO draftsmen, look at the exact step-by-step math used to divide future pension wealth, and expose how an unexpected tax bill can completely wipe out a multi-million-dollar settlement if the proper financial architects are not sitting at the table. When liquidating a multi-million-dollar marital estate, the average person assumes that a dollar is simply a dollar. But in the highly technical realm of high-net-worth divorce in 2026, the financial architects know a devastating truth: an unadjusted dollar sitting in a tax-deferred retirement account is worth significantly less than a liquid dollar sitting in a standard checking account. If a legal settlement states that one spouse receives $1 million from a traditional 401k plan, and the other receives $1 million from a liquid brokerage account, the spouse receiving the retirement account has actually inherited a massive deferred tax liability. This core discrepancy has generated a highly lucrative, hyper-specialized microeconomy within the family court system, staffed by quality domestic relations order specialists, actuarial valuation experts, and specialized tax mitigation attorneys. To understand how this hidden financial machinery works in practice, let us look at a case study unfolding right now in 2026. Imagine a high-earning software engineer named Michael, who has spent 25 years climbing the ranks at a major technology conglomerate in Seattle, Washington. Over his tenure, Michael accumulated a massive retirement portfolio: a traditional 401k valued at $2 million, an executive deferred compensation plan worth $1.5 million, and a defined benefit corporate pension plan structured to pay out $15,000 per month upon his retirement. His spouse, Linda, focused on managing their household and raising their children. As they enter the divorce process, dividing these specific accounts requires far more than a simple stroke of a pen or a standard court decree. The standard family law judge does not have the administrative authority to order a private corporate benefit plan, to slice an account in half and distribute it to a non-employee spouse. Doing so without the proper legal mechanisms would instantly violate the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, triggering catastrophic immediate taxation and massive early withdrawal penalties from the Internal Revenue Service. To bypass this barrier, the legal teams must hire a highly specialized legal technician, known as a QDRO draftsman. A quality domestic relations order is a highly specific, separate legal decree drafted to comply exactly with the internal administrative rules of the specific corporate benefits plan, as well as federal tax laws. The step-by-step process of executing a QDRO is a masterclass in bureaucratic precision. First, the specialist must contact the plan administrator at Michael's tech company to obtain the pre-approved plan procedures. Next, they must carefully construct the order, choosing between a separate interest approach, which divides the account into two independent accounts, or a shared payment approach, which splits the actual monthly checks once they begin payout. If the draftsman makes a single technical error, such as misidentifying the exact legal name of the plan or miscalculating the valuation date, the plan administrator will reject the order out of hand. While the document sits in a state of rejection, the assets remain locked, stalling the entire divorce process. Because of this extreme risk, specialized QDRO lawyers charge premium flat fees ranging from $1,000 to $3,000 per individual document. Given that a high-net-worth couple may possess multiple independent 401k plans, 403b plans, and traditional pension structures from various employers throughout their careers, the drafting fees alone represent a significant economic subsector. The complexity intensifies when an actuarial valuation expert is required to determine the present-day value of a defined benefit pension. Let us look at an imagine-if scenario involving Michael's corporate pension. The pension promises to pay $15,000 a month starting at age 65. However, Michael is currently only 52 years old. How do you divide an asset today that will not pay out its first dollar for another 13 years? You cannot simply look at the account balance because a defined benefit pension does not have a traditional balance. It is a promise of future cash flow. An actuarial scientist must step into the case, applying highly complex mathematical formulas to calculate the present-day cash value of that future income stream. The actuary must analyze historical trends of mortality rates, adjusting for Michael's current health status and life expectancy. They must factor in projected inflation tracking through 2026 and apply a specific discount rate to determine exactly how much cash would need to be deposited today to replicate that $15,000 monthly payout 13 years from now. If the actuary calculates the present value of the pension at $2.8 million, the court now has a hard number to work with. Linda's legal team can use this valuation to argue for an immediate offset, meaning she might waive her right to the future pension payments in exchange for taking the full $2 million traditional 401k and an extra $800,000 in immediate liquid capital. The actuary's report costs several $1,000s, but it forms the mathematical foundation upon which all executive asset division rests. Simultaneously, specialized tax mitigation attorneys must audit the entire asset division strategy to prevent unexpected tax bills from vaporizing the settlement. In 2026, the intersection of marital property transfers and Internal Revenue Code Section 1041 requires careful maneuvering. While direct transfers of property between spouses during a divorce are generally tax-free events, the post-divorce liquidation of those assets is entirely taxable. If Linda receives the $2 million traditional 401k and immediately withdraws $500,000 to purchase a new home, that entire $500,000 is treated as ordinary income, pushing her into the highest federal and state tax brackets. A specialized tax attorney must sit with the financial planners to balance the portfolio pre-distribution, utilizing strategies like offsetting non-qualified stock options against liquid municipal bonds to ensure both parties walk away with a structurally equitable net tax position. The economic footprint of these retirement and tax specialists is enormous, driven by the absolute necessity of precision. A single misstep can transform a multi-million-dollar settlement into an administrative nightmare of tax penalties and frozen accounts. The professional class recognizes this reality, structuring their services to capture value at every step of the asset transfer chain. The capital moves from corporate benefit funds through actuarial calculators into QDRO blueprints and finally into newly structured individual retirement portfolios, creating a continuous loop of fee generation for the financial advisory, legal, and actuarial industries. But as complex and calculated as the division of corporate wealth and retirement funds can be, it is often overshadowed by the raw human conflict and immense financial costs associated with the most sensitive asset class of all, child custody, parental alignment evaluations, and psychological consulting complex. When the battle shifts from corporate spreadsheets to the future of the children, the emotional stakes skyrocket, and a completely different ecosystem of highly paid professionals arrives to manage, evaluate, and monetize the high-conflict custody journey. In the next part of this masterclass, we will pull back the curtain on the secret world of court-appointed forensic psychologists, look at the staggering cost of comprehensive custody evaluations, and examine the exact step-by-step mechanics of how parental fitness is measured, billed, and contested in the high-stakes world of family court. When the focus of a high-net-worth marital dissolution shifts from corporate balance sheets to the living room, the financial dynamics undergo a massive, emotionally charged transformation. This is the domain of the psychological consulting complex, an incredibly lucrative sector of the divorce economy that operates at the intersection of clinical psychology, family law, and behavioral analytics. When parents cannot agree on a co-parenting schedule or legal decision-making authority, the court routinely steps in to appoint a small army of mental health professionals, including forensic child custody evaluators, parenting coordinators, guardian ad litems, and supervised visitation monitors. To see exactly how this machinery functions right now in 2026, let us look at a case study involving a couple named Christopher and Kimberly based in Atlanta, Georgia. Christopher is a high-profile corporate litigation attorney, and Kimberly is a former pharmaceutical executive who stepped back from her career to manage their family estate and 3 school-aged children. When their marriage collapsed, allegations regarding parenting fitness, work-induced absence, and emotional alienation surfaced immediately from both sides. With 2 highly competitive, protective parents deadlocked over physical custody, the legal system initiated a full-scale custody evaluation. The cornerstone of this process is the comprehensive forensic custody evaluation, a deeply invasive and highly structured investigation conducted by a licensed clinical psychologist specializing in family law. This professional does not simply sit down for a casual chat with the family. The step-by-step methodology requires dozens of hours of clinical interviews, standardized psychological testing, home observations, and collateral interviews with teachers, pediatricians, and extended family members. The psychologist utilizes advanced diagnostic instruments such as the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory to assess the personality structure, emotional stability, and psychological fitness of both Christopher and Kimberly. The cost for this level of forensic assessment is astronomical. Custody evaluators typically command hourly rates ranging from $350 to $600 per hour. A standard, comprehensive evaluation easily consumes between 40 and 80 hours of the psychologist's time, resulting in initial retainer invoices ranging from $15,000 to $40,000. This entire fee is paid directly by the divorcing parents, split according to their income ratios or dictated by a temporary court order. If the evaluation reveals deep-seated parental alienation or complex psychological dynamics, the evaluator may recommend additional testing, which expands the billing cycles further. But the economic footprint of the psychological consulting complex does not stop with the delivery of the final evaluation report. In high-conflict historical trends, the party who receives an unfavorable recommendation from the court-appointed psychologist will almost never accept the findings passively. Instead, Christopher's legal team might hire a secondary professional known as a custody evaluation reviewer or a rebuttal expert. This second psychologist is paid a premium fee simply to audit the first psychologist's report, looking for methodological flaws, biased interview techniques, or misinterpretations of the psychological testing data. When the case goes to trial, both psychologists are subpoenaed to testify as expert witnesses. Sitting in a courtroom waiting to testify can cost the clients thousands of dollars a day per expert, directly transferring family capital into the professional accounts of the mental health sector. Simultaneously, the court may appoint a specialized attorney or social worker, known as a guardian ad litem, to independently represent the specific legal best interests of the children. The guardian ad litem conducts an independent parallel investigation, visiting the homes, reviewing academic records, and submitting formal recommendations to the judge. Like the custody evaluator, the guardian ad litem bills by the hour, adding another layers of professional fees that must be settled out of the liquid reserves of the marital estate. Once a custody order or co-parenting agreement is finally established by the court, managing the day-to-day execution of that plan often requires ongoing professional intervention, giving rise to the parenting coordinator industry. A parenting coordinator is a neutral third-party professional, typically a family therapist or a seasoned family law attorney, appointed by the court to resolve real-time disputes between high-conflict parents like Christopher and Kimberly. Imagine a scenario where a co-parenting schedule states that the parents will split major holidays, but they cannot agree on the exact location or time for the physical exchange of the children on Christmas Eve. Instead of filing an emergency motion with the court, which takes weeks and costs thousands in attorney fees, the parents contact their parenting coordinator. The parenting coordinator reviews the dispute, hears arguments from both sides via phone or an online portal, and issues a legally binding decision within hours. For this ongoing conflict resolution, the coordinator charges an ongoing monthly retainer or an hourly rate of $400, split evenly between the parents. Over the course of a multi-year childhood journey, a high-conflict couple can easily spend tens of thousands of dollars on a parenting coordinator simply to manage everyday logistics, text message communication protocols, and extracurricular activity scheduling. We must also factor in the financial footprint of therapeutic intervention programs specifically designed for high-conflict families. If a custody evaluation uncovers severe parent-child alignment issues, commonly referred to as parental alienation, courts in 2026 frequently mandate specialized reunification therapy or intensive multi-day family workshops. These specialized therapeutic programs often require the parents and children to travel to a dedicated retreat center, working with a team of clinical psychologists and behavioral coaches over a weekend to repair broken bonds. These intensive workshops can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 per session, completely separate from individual therapy sessions that each family member may be legally required to attend on a weekly basis. When you look at the total picture, the psychological consulting complex forms a massive self-sustaining economic engine within the family court ecosystem. The conflict between the parents feeds the evaluators' reports feed the rebuttal experts and trial witnesses, the ongoing tension post-divorce feeds the parenting coordinators, and the emotional fallout experienced by the children feeds the specialized child therapists and reunification programs. Capital flows seamlessly from the private accounts of American families directly into the healthcare and legal services infrastructure, turning raw human heartbreak into a highly structured, meticulously built corporate matrix. But what happens when the high-conflict divorce moves past the court-appointed professionals and into the world of daily protection, security, and physical surveillance? When the stakes involve elite public figures, high-profile corporate executives, or ultra-wealthy heirs, the battle for information and personal safety spills out into the physical world, bringing in a completely different tier of highly paid specialists: the private intelligence networks, high-tech digital surveillance teams, and personal protection details. In the next part of this masterclass, we will step out of the courtroom and into the shadows of private security. We will look at how elite private investigators track marital misconduct across major U.S. cities, look at the exact step-by-step technology used to sweep luxury vehicles for hidden tracking devices, and expose the massive economic windfall reaped by personal protection details hired to secure high-profile spouses during the most volatile moments of the divorce journey. When a matrimonial battle spills outside the courtroom and into the physical world, the financial scale of the divorce journey reaches an entirely new level of intensity. This is the realm of the private security and corporate intelligence sector, a highly sophisticated industry staffed by former federal agents, elite military veterans, and high-tech digital forensics field operatives. In high-stakes domestic litigation, information is the ultimate currency. Protecting both physical safety and personal reputation becomes paramount. This intersection of fear, suspicion, and strategy drives a multi-million-dollar sub-economy fueled entirely by spouses seeking to uncover leverage or protect themselves from digital and physical intrusion. To observe this dynamic in motion right now in 2026, let us analyze a case study involving a prominent real estate mogul named Richard and his spouse Elizabeth, based in New York City. Richard possesses a vast commercial portfolio, travel logs that span multiple continents, and access to significant liquid capital. Elizabeth's legal team suspects that Richard is utilizing a network of corporate shell companies to fund an alternative lifestyle and hide significant marital assets. To gather admissible evidence that can withstand the strict standards of family court, the legal team does not rely on simple internet searches. They retain an elite, high-end private intelligence firm. The operational methodology of a professional corporate intelligence investigation is a lesson in tactical execution. The process begins with comprehensive physical surveillance, which involves a multi-person rotation team tracking Richard's daily movements across the tri-state area. These operators utilize advanced photographic equipment, long-range night vision optics, and low-profile rental vehicles to document every individual Richard meets, every property he visits, and every luxury asset he utilizes. In high-conflict historical trends, showing a pattern of lifestyle expenditures that do not align with reported tax filings can fundamentally alter the potential outcomes of a spousal support determination. The costs for this level of boots-on-the-ground intelligence are immense. Private intelligence firms routinely command retention fees starting at $10,000 just to initiate an active file. Individual field investigators bill between $150 and $350 per hour per operator. If a surveillance detail requires a 3-person team to safely track a target through a complex urban environment without detection, the hourly burn rate can quickly surpass $1,000. Over a 3-week investigative cycle, the cumulative invoice can easily exceed $50,000, representing a direct transfer of marital wealth into the private security services sector. Simultaneously, the tactical warfare shifts into the digital domain, creating massive revenue streams for technical surveillance countermeasures and cyber forensics experts. Imagine an alternative scenario where Elizabeth suspects that her personal communications, private emails, and physical location are being actively monitored by Richard through hidden electronic means. In 2026, the accessibility of low-cost, highly sophisticated digital monitoring tools has made electronic espionage incredibly common in domestic disputes. To counter this threat, Elizabeth hires a technical surveillance specialist to conduct a comprehensive sweep of her environment. The step-by-step process of a professional technical sweep is incredibly rigorous. The specialist begins with a physical and electronic audit of Elizabeth's luxury SUV and personal residence. They deploy advanced near-field radio frequency detectors and nonlinear junction detectors to scan for hidden GPS tracking devices, active cellular transmitters, and microphones hidden within the vehicle's onboard computer modules or interior upholstery. Next, they conduct a full digital audit of her smartphones, laptops, and home Wi-Fi networks, analyzing the device firmware for hidden spyware, unauthorized remote access Trojans, or hidden parental control applications that may have been quietly installed to mirror her text messages, real-time location data, and keystrokes. These electronic countermeasure sweeps cost between $3,000 and $10,000 per cycle. If the specialist uncovers an active device, the evidence must be meticulously preserved using strict chain of custody protocols so that it can be admitted into evidence by the legal team to prove a breach of privacy laws. Beyond the hunt for data, the physical safety of the parties involved frequently requires the intervention of personal protection details. When a high-conflict divorce involves high-profile corporate executives, public figures, or multi-generational heirs, the public exposure of the litigation can attract external threats, media harassment, or escalate into severe interpersonal hostility. This reality fuels the executive protection market within the family law ecosystem. Let us look at the step-by-step reality of a personal protection detail deployed during a volatile court hearing or property division event. The security firm conducts an advanced risk assessment of the court venue, mapping out secure entry and exit points, private parking arrangements, and coordinating directly with courthouse security personnel. A team of close protection specialists accompanies the spouse to and from all legal depositions, mediation sessions, and public appearances, creating a physical barrier against aggressive media reporters or hostile family members. These elite bodyguards command day rates ranging from $1,000 to $2,500 per agent. For a high-profile individual requiring round-the-clock protection during a 2-month trial window, the security budget can easily scale into 6 figures, adding another massive layer to the total economic footprint of the professionals managing the journey. We must also factor in the public relations and reputation management consultants who work hand-in-hand with the legal and security teams. When a major divorce involving a high-yield corporate executive or a notable brand founder hits the public docket, the media fallout can cause immediate economic damage to corporate stock prices, brand partnerships, and future career opportunities. Specialized crisis communications firms are brought in at a premium to manage the narrative. They monitor media mentions, draft strategic press releases, coordinate with legal counsel to ensure public statements do not compromise the ongoing court strategy, and deploy digital search engine optimization tactics to mitigate the visibility of damaging allegations online. These public relations architects charge monthly retainers ranging from $5,000 to $20,000, functioning as an essential shield to protect the long-term commercial earning capacity of the estate. The economic footprint of the private intelligence, cybersecurity, physical protection, and crisis management sectors represents a massive, self-reinforcing financial cycle. The suspicion between the parties funds the private intelligence investigators. The fear of digital espionage drives the business of the technical sweep specialists. The threat of public or private confrontation creates non-stop billing cycles for executive protection agents, and the preservation of corporate asset value necessitates the involvement of high-end reputation management firms. Private marital capital is systematically converted into a shield of defense and an apparatus of offense, enriching a highly specialized network of security professionals. But while physical security, surveillance, and digital forensics dominate the active phases of high-stakes martial warfare, a completely separate and permanent economic restructuring takes place once the final decree is signed. When vast family wealth is permanently fractured, the long-term management of those assets must be completely reimagined, transitioning away from joint family trusts and moving into the highly complex world of post-divorce wealth asset management, insurance restructuring, and specialized estate planning. In the next part of this masterclass, we will step out of the tactical arena of physical surveillance and into the corporate boardroom of wealth preservation. We will analyze the exact step-by-step mechanisms used by post-divorce financial advisors to untangle joint investment portfolios, look at the historical trends of dividing generational family trusts, and expose the massive long-term advisory fees captured by the elite financial institutions tasked with rebuilding separate economic empires from the ashes of a dissolved marriage. When the ink finally dries on a comprehensive divorce decree, the structural fragmentation of wealth demands an immediate, systematic reconstruction of the couple's entire financial architecture. This post-decree environment is the exclusive territory of elite wealth management firms, private banks, trust administrators, and specialized estate planning attorneys. Once an estate worth $10 million, $50 million, or hundreds of millions of dollars is split into independent legal entities, the capital cannot simply sit dormant in standard checking accounts. It must be completely reallocated, rehedged, and restructured to reflect the separate, often divergent, financial goals of the two newly single individuals. This permanent reshuffling of assets represents a massive, long-term revenue engine for the financial services industry, capturing billions of dollars in ongoing management fees. To see this systemic restructuring in action right now in 2026, let us analyze a case study involving a prominent tech executive named William and his former spouse Victoria, who recently finalized their marital dissolution in California. Their marital estate, valued at $45 million, was composed of heavily concentrated corporate equity, a sprawling venture capital portfolio, multiple multi-generational family trusts, and complex life insurance structures. Following the court-approved division of assets, William and Victoria each walked away with approximately $22.5 million in separate assets. The immediate challenge facing Victoria's newly retained wealth management team is the critical task of portfolio diversification and risk mitigation. For the past 15 years, the vast majority of the family wealth was tied directly to the performance of William's specific technology company. While this concentration generated immense upward mobility during the marriage, it represents a catastrophic risk profile for Victoria as an independent individual relying on these assets to fund her long-term financial security. Her post-divorce wealth advisors must execute a highly calculated, step-by-step liquidation and reallocation strategy. The step-by-step process of post-divorce wealth architecture begins with a comprehensive liquidity assessment. The advisors must determine how much immediate cash Victoria needs to establish her new primary residence, cover ongoing lifestyle expenses, and settle any remaining secondary professional fees. Next, the financial planners must systematically unwind the concentrated stock positions without triggering massive, immediate capital gains tax liabilities. This requires coordinating closely with specialized tax attorneys to utilize advanced strategies like exchanging stock over a calculated multi-year schedule, establishing charitable remainder trusts, or allocating capital into specific tax-advantaged private placement life insurance vehicles. Once liquidity is managed, the remaining millions are deployed across a globally diversified asset allocation matrix, spanning institutional-grade fixed income, liquid equities, real estate investment trusts, and private equity funds. For managing this complex transition and providing ongoing oversight, elite wealth management firms charge an annual asset-based fee, typically hovering around 1% of the total assets under management. On a $22 million portfolio, this translates to an ongoing annual advisory fee of over $200,000, demonstrating how marital dissolution permanently creates multi-year revenue streams for institutional financial firms. Simultaneously, Williams' financial architects are facing an equally complex challenge: restructuring his multi-generational family trusts and estate planning documents. Prior to the divorce, William and Victoria had established an irrevocable family trust designed to pass wealth to their children while minimizing future federal estate tax exposure. Victoria was designated as a primary beneficiary and a co-trustee, giving her significant legal control over the distribution of the trust's capital. With the marriage dissolved, Williams' estate planning lawyers must navigate the highly rigid legal framework of trust modification or trust decanting. Let us look at the step-by-step mechanics of trust decanting, a highly specialized legal maneuver that has become incredibly common in high-net-worth historical trends. Because an irrevocable trust cannot simply be amended or revoked, the legal team must literally pour the assets from the old, compromised trust into an entirely new trust entity designed with updated provisions that remove Victoria's trustee powers and modify her beneficiary status, while strictly preserving the wealth for the children and maintaining the original tax exemptions. This process requires meticulous notification protocols, precise drafting of new fiduciary duties, and often, formal judicial approval. The legal fees for executing a successful trust decanting operation can easily range from $20,000 to $50,000 per trust entity, representing a direct injection of capital into elite trust litigation and estate planning firms. We must also analyze the massive, hidden economic footprint of the insurance restructuring sector during the post-divorce journey. In high-net-worth divorce decrees, courts frequently mandate that the support-paying spouse maintain a massive term or whole-life insurance policy to secure future alimony and child support payments. If William is legally obligated to pay Victoria $100,000 per month in spousal and child support for the next 10 years, the court must ensure that if William passes away unexpectedly, the financial stream does not vanish. To satisfy this legal mandate, specialized insurance brokers are brought in to underwrite multi-million-dollar life insurance policies, often requiring sophisticated medical underwriting and premium financing structures. The ongoing premiums on these mandatory policies can cost tens of thousands of dollars annually, with insurance brokerages capturing substantial upfront commissions and ongoing renewal fees. Furthermore, existing joint survivorship policies, commonly known as second-to-die policies, which were originally designed to pay estate taxes upon the passing of the second spouse, must be structurally audited, split, or cash surrendered, triggering intricate calculations regarding cash value distributions, policy surrenders, and alternative premium allocations. This systemic financial reengineering extends directly into the realm of corporate benefits and executive compensation realignment. Following the asset split, Williams' corporate employer must update its internal beneficiary designations, stock option tracking ledgers, and deferred compensation payout protocols to reflect the new legal boundaries established by the QDROs and divorce decrees analyzed earlier in this masterclass. Corporate compliance officers, human resource executives, and specialized corporate counsel spend hours modifying internal records to ensure the firm does not inadvertently violate state or federal property laws when distributing future performance bonuses or vesting executive shares. When you look at the total post-divorce wealth landscape, it becomes undeniably clear that the final divorce decree is not the end of the financial journey. It is simply the commencement of a permanent, highly institutionalized wealth redistribution matrix. The assets do not simply return to a state of rest. Instead, the fracturing of a single household creates two completely separate economic empires, each requiring its own independent team of wealth managers, private bankers, trust administrators, estate lawyers, tax architects, and insurance underwriters. Every single dollar of broken marital wealth is systematically remonetized by the professional services economy, turning the conclusion of a personal relationship into a lifelong, compounding fee generation engine for the largest financial institutions in America. But as massive and permanent as the post-divorce wealth management complex is, the actual path to reaching that final decree is shifting rapidly in 2026. As couples look at the devastating financial toll of multi-year litigation, an alternative multi-million-dollar ecosystem has emerged to capture the market of couples desperate to avoid the public courtroom altogether. This is the fast-paced, highly strategic world of private mediation, collaborative divorce frameworks, and alternative dispute resolution networks. In the next part of this masterclass, we will pull back the curtain on the private judges and elite mediators who operate the parallel justice system. We will analyze the exact step-by-step strategies used by private mediators to resolve deadlocks between hostile executives, look at the historical trends of collaborative law fees, and expose the massive financial footprint of the private dispute resolution empires that charge premium day rates to keep high-stakes marital secrets completely hidden from the public eye. The private dispute resolution empire operates as a highly lucrative parallel justice system, capturing a massive share of the divorce economy from couples who recognize that open courtroom warfare is a fast track to financial and reputational destruction. In 2026, as public court dockets face severe backlogs and public records become increasingly vulnerable to digital scrutiny, the demand for off-the-record settlements has reached an all-time high. This has fueled the rapid expansion of private mediation networks, collaborative law groups, and retired judges operating as private arbitrators. These elite professionals charge premium day rates to orchestrate settlements behind closed doors, offering a confidential alternative that keeps highly sensitive corporate assets, hidden investments, and personal indiscretions completely out of the public record. To analyze how this private justice system functions step by step, let us look at a case study unfolding right now in 2026. Imagine a high-profile corporate couple based in Chicago, Illinois. The husband, Arthur, is the managing partner of a prominent private equity firm, and the wife, Beatrice, is a lead medical researcher with a highly valuable portfolio of patented medical technologies. Their combined marital estate is estimated at $80 million. If Arthur and Beatrice were to litigate their asset division in a public family court, every financial disclosure, corporate audit, deposition transcript, and personal accusation would become a matter of public record, easily accessible by business competitors, media outlets, and regulatory bodies. To avoid this catastrophic exposure, their legal teams advise them to bypass the public court entirely and retain a premier private mediation forum. The operational mechanics of high-stakes private mediation require an incredible amount of logistical and strategic preparation. The process does not resemble a simple sit-down conversation across a conference table. Instead, it is a highly structured, multi-room negotiation marathon led by an elite neutral mediator, often a retired state Supreme Court or family court judge. These top-tier mediators command day rates ranging from $5,000 to $15,000 per day, or hourly fees upwards of $1,000, split evenly between the parties. The mediation takes place in a secure, luxury office suite where Arthur and his legal team occupy one executive conference room, while Beatrice and her counsel occupy another. The mediator acts as a diplomatic shuttle, moving back and forth between the rooms for 12 to 16 hours straight, analyzing financial spreadsheets, identifying areas of compromise, and systematically chipping away at the deadlocks. Let us look at the step-by-step reality of how a private mediator untangles a deadlocked corporate asset. In Arthur and Beatrice's case, the primary friction point is the valuation and distribution of Arthur's carried interest in an active private equity fund that has not yet matured. Beatrice's team argues that she is entitled to a massive upfront cash buyout based on the projected future returns of the fund. Arthur's team counters that the future returns are highly speculative and subject to market volatility in 2026, meaning she should only receive a percentage of the distributions, if and when they actually manifest. A public judge, overwhelmed by a heavy case docket, might lack the specialized commercial expertise or the time required to understand the nuances of private equity carry structures, potentially leading to a blunt, economically damaging ruling. The private mediator, possessing decades of specialized corporate family law experience, can construct a nuanced, highly customized settlement framework. They might suggest a rolling distribution structure with a clawback provision, which protects Arthur from paying out cash for returns that never materialize while ensuring Beatrice receives a legally binding share of the actual upside. By resolving this multi-million-dollar bottleneck in a single intense weekend session, the mediator earns their $10,000 fee while saving the couple hundreds of thousands of dollars in protracted trial preparation, court costs, and expert witness fees. Simultaneously, another rapidly growing branch of this private dispute resolution economy is the collaborative divorce framework. Unlike traditional mediation, where a neutral third party facilitates a settlement, collaborative divorce is a highly structured legal team methodology where both spouses sign a binding participation agreement. This agreement states that if the case cannot be settled out of court, both attorneys must completely withdraw from the case, forcing the couple to hire entirely new legal teams to start over from scratch in a public courtroom. This creates a powerful financial and psychological incentive for everyone involved to reach an amicable resolution. The economic footprint of a collaborative divorce team is vast and multidisciplinary. The process requires the couple to jointly retain a neutral financial professional, a neutral child specialist, and 2 collaborative attorneys. Let us map out an imagine-if scenario to see how this money flows. Instead of Arthur and Beatrice hiring competing forensic accountants to fight in court, they hire a single neutral collaborative financial specialist who charges $400 an hour. This professional reviews the entire marital ledger, builds a single, unified asset spreadsheet, and conducts neutral financial modeling to show the potential outcomes of various distribution strategies over a 10, 20, and 30-year horizon. The neutral child specialist, typically a licensed family therapist, works directly with the parents to construct a detailed co-parenting blueprint, addressing everything from holiday scheduling to educational funding, without a single legal motion being filed. While this process eliminates courtroom litigation fees, the collaborative team approach represents a massive consolidation of professional billing hours. A single collaborative session involving both attorneys, the financial neutral, and the child specialist can carry a collective billable rate of $2,000 per hour. Over a 6-month negotiation cycle, the total fees paid to this multidisciplinary professional guild can easily cross $100,000, demonstrating that even when a divorce is completely cooperative, the economic footprint remains substantial and highly profitable for the specialized professional class. We must also factor in the rapid rise of private arbitration, which functions as a literal private trial. If mediation fails, but the couple still refuses to enter a public courtroom, they can legally contract to hire a private arbitrator whose final ruling is legally binding and enforceable by a state court. The private arbitrator acts exactly like a judge, conducting formal evidentiary hearings, ruling on legal objections, and writing a final arbitration award. The crucial difference is that the entire process takes place in a private law firm boardroom, and the transcripts remain completely confidential. The couple pays for the arbitrator's time, the court reporter's fees, and the rental of the executive space, converting what would normally be a state-funded judicial process into a premium, privatized consumer service. The private dispute resolution empire has systematically transformed the dissolution of the American family into a highly optimized corporate transaction. By leveraging the absolute necessity of privacy, confidentiality, and specialized expertise, this parallel justice system has engineered an unshakable market position. It monetizes cooperation just as effectively as the traditional court system monetizes conflict. Capital flows uninterrupted from the liquid reserves of wealthy households directly into the accounts of retired judges, collaborative legal networks, and private mediation conglomerates. But while these elite private frameworks handle the top tier of American wealth, the vast majority of the population must still interact with the traditional institutional frameworks. When we look across the entire spectrum of the American divorce journey, a profound realization emerges regarding the systemic economic interdependencies that tie the legal, financial, architectural, and psychological industries together into a single, permanent multi-billion-dollar macroeconomy. As we approach the final phases of this deep dive masterclass, we must look beyond individual case studies and analyze the macroeconomic reality of how this entire system sustains itself over time. In the next part of this masterclass, we will zoom out to look at the institutional forces, structural incentives, and hidden economic feedback loops that ensure the American divorce machine continues to expand, looking at the structural shifts in domestic legislation and the emerging digital platforms designed to capture the next generation of marital dissolution wealth. To fully comprehend how the divorce machine sustains its massive momentum across the United States in 2026, we must look beyond individual service providers and analyze the systemic macroeconomic feedback loops that drive this entire industry forward. The divorce economy does not operate in a vacuum. It is heavily influenced by sweeping structural shifts in state legislation, evolving tax codes, and the aggressive entry of venture capital-backed legal technology platforms. These institutional forces ensure that as the traditional methods of asset division evolve, new highly profitable avenues emerge to capture, manage, and process the next generation of marital dissolution wealth. Let us first examine the macroeconomic impact of recent legislative structural shifts across various U.S. states. Historically, family law statutes have been slow to change, But the rapid evolution of modern compensation structures and domestic arrangements has forced state legislatures to continuously update their domestic relations codes. For instance, several states have recently overhauled their statutes regarding the duration and calculation of permanent alimony, moving instead toward highly rigid, mathematically driven formulas based strictly on the duration of the marriage and the exact income disparity between the parties. While some observers initially predicted that these standardized formulas would reduce legal conflict by making potential outcomes highly predictable, historical trends in 2026 reveal the exact opposite effect. Because the statutory formulas rely entirely on the precise inputs of gross cash flow and historical income, the battleground has simply shifted from arguing over fairness to aggressively manipulating the underlying financial data definitions. Let us look at a case study involving a business executive named Thomas and his spouse Evelyn in Ohio. Under the updated state guidelines, if Thomas's income is calculated at $600,000 per year, his potential alimony obligation is locked into a specific statutory tier. However, if his legal and financial architects can systematically reclassify a portion of his performance bonuses as irregular non-guaranteed corporate distributions, they can argue his baseline income for the calculation is only $350,000. This statutory rigidity has created an intense, high-stakes demand for specialized legislative consulting attorneys and economic analysts who charge premium fees to write comprehensive legal briefs, interpreting the microscopic nuances of newly enacted state family law codes. Simultaneously, the macroeconomy of marital dissolution is being radically transformed by the rapid rise of specialized legal tech platforms and digital asset management ecosystems designed to automate low-conflict divorces while aggregating highly valuable consumer data. Imagine an alternative scenario where a millennial couple in Austin, Texas, named James and Chloe, decide to utilize a venture capital-backed online divorce platform rather than retaining traditional law firms. These modern digital portals utilize advanced algorithmic questioning models to guide users through the process of cataloging assets, drafting co-parenting schedules, and generating court-ready decree templates for a flat fee ranging from $1,000 to $3,000. While this looked like a massive disruption that threatens to decimate the traditional legal billing structure, a deep dive analysis of the business model reveals that these platforms function as massive, highly optimized lead generation funnels for the broader financial services economy. The digital platform's underlying software code is meticulously engineered to flag any asset complexity. The moment James types in that he owns a fractional share of a cryptocurrency mining operation or holds restricted stock units in a pre-IPO startup, the platform's automated system instantly triggers a notification stating that his estate requires advanced human review. The user is then seamlessly upsold to an in-network premium tier, connecting them directly with vetted forensic partners, independent business valuation analysts, and specialized corporate tax accountants who pay massive recurring affiliate fees to the platform to be listed on the network. Furthermore, the aggregated, anonymized financial data captured by these digital interfaces is immensely valuable. By analyzing the spending habits, debt ratios, and asset portfolios of hundreds of thousands of dissolving households, these tech conglomerates can accurately predict the exact moment a user will need to refinance a mortgage, liquidate a retirement portfolio, or purchase a new individual insurance policy. This allows major banking institutions and consumer credit corporations to deploy highly targeted marketing campaigns, capturing the consumer at their most vulnerable financial transition point and driving billions of dollars in secondary transaction volume across the broader U.S. consumer economy. We must also factor in the massive institutional footprint of the matrimonial litigation funding industry, a rapidly expanding sector of the financial landscape in 2026. Historically, if one spouse held total control over the family banking accounts and corporate liquid reserves, the non-operating spouse was at a severe disadvantage, often forced to accept an unfavorable settlement simply because they lacked the capital to pay ongoing legal retainers. Enter specialized private equity funds and litigation secondary lenders who treat high-net-worth divorce cases exactly like high-yield corporate lawsuits. Let us look at the step-by-step mechanics of how a matrimonial litigation funding arrangement operates. A non-operating spouse who anticipates receiving a massive asset distribution, but lacks immediate liquidity applies for funding with a specialized legal finance firm. The firm's internal team of risk underwriters and forensic analysts conduct an exhaustive, confidential review of the marital estate, assessing the historical trends of similar cases in that specific judicial district and calculating the potential outcomes of the property division. If the underwriting team determines the case is highly viable, The finance firm advances hundreds of thousands of dollars directly to the spouse's elite legal team to cover ongoing attorney billable hours, forensic audits, and expert witness fees. In exchange for this immediate liquidity, the litigation funding firm charges a premium interest rate or takes a contractual percentage of the final cash settlement or asset distribution. This institutional capital injection ensures that high-stakes legal battles can be extended for years, creating a self-sustaining feedback loop where private equity capital actively funds the expansion of legal billing hours, directly expanding the overall economic footprint of the family court ecosystem. The systemic integration of the American divorce machine is absolute. Legislative changes designed to streamline the process merely alter the tactics of the legal practitioners. Digital automation platforms serve as high-tech collection nets to funnel complex estates back into the traditional professional class, and institutional litigation funders provide the raw liquid fuel necessary to sustain prolonged courtroom warfare. Every technological advancement, statutory modification, and financial innovation is systematically absorbed by this multi-billion-dollar matrix, optimizing its ability to extract value from the dissolution of the domestic household. As we approach the final concluding segment of this deep dive masterclass, we have successfully unraveled the financial architecture of the attorneys, the forensic accountants, the real estate liquidators, the psychological consultants, the private security networks, the post-divorce wealth managers, and the private mediation empires. We have observed how capital is systematically traced, contested, divided, and reallocated across the American economy. In the 10th and final part of this masterclass, we will synthesize all of these independent vectors into a comprehensive macroeconomic conclusion. We will look at the ultimate long-term trajectory of the divorce industrial complex through the remainder of the decade, analyze the structural impact on generational wealth transfer in the United States, and expose the final definitive balance sheet of who truly wins the financial war when an American marriage comes to an end. To construct the definitive balance sheet of the American divorce journey in 2026, we must synthesize every independent economic vector we have uncovered throughout this 10-part masterclass and examine the ultimate long-term trajectory of this massive ecosystem. When we look across the macroeconomic landscape of the United States, the traditional notion of family wealth dissolution must be completely redefined. Wealth is rarely entirely destroyed during a marital split. Instead, it undergoes a highly calculated, institutionalized redistribution. The capital fragments, altering its velocity and flowing out of concentrated family estates directly into the operational balance sheets of the highly specialized professional class. The systemic siphon has transformed the landscape of generational wealth transfer in America, turning matrimonial collapse into an unshakable pillars of the modern professional services market. Let us look at a final comprehensive case study to observe how this ultimate redistribution manifests on a macroscopic level over a multi-year horizon. Imagine a multi-generational family estate based in Boston, Massachusetts, overseen by an individual named Theodore and his former spouse Eleanor. Their combined family net worth, accumulated over 3 decades of real estate development and corporate equity investments, stood at approximately $100 million before the initiation of legal filings. This estate was intended to serve as a permanent financial foundation for their children and grandchildren, structured through multi-generational family trusts and family-limited partnerships. When the decision to dissolve the marriage was made, the estate became the target of a full-scale professional mobilization. Over a 48-month litigation and mediation cycle, every single layer of the professional guild we have analyzed stepped in to claim their piece of the pie. The elite family law practices representing Theodore and Eleanor billed thousands of hours. The forensic accounting firms executed multi-year lifestyle audits across dozens of corporate entities. The business valuation analysts produced competing econometric models. The certified divorce real estate experts managed the forced liquidation of premium commercial and residential properties. The psychological consulting complex conducted extensive custody evaluations, and the private intelligence networks deployed high-tech digital surveillance. When the final decree was signed in 2026, a comprehensive forensic financial audit of the entire journey revealed a staggering structural reality. The direct transaction costs, the pure professional fees paid out to attorneys, accountants, appraisers, mediators, and consultants, totaled over $8 million. This means that 8% of the entire generational wealth of the household was permanently carved out and transferred into the service economy before a single dollar of the remaining $92 million could be split between the separate accounts of Theodore and Eleanor. Furthermore, the mandatory liquidation of real estate assets, and the restructuring of concentrated corporate stock options to fund the equitable distribution cash buyouts triggered an additional $6 million in immediate capital gains taxes and transaction frictional fees. This is the true definitive balance sheet of a high-stakes American divorce. The family did not simply lose $14 million in a vacuum. That capital was actively injected into the local and national economy, funding the corporate expansions of law firms, elevating the profitability of specialized financial advisory groups, and generating massive tax revenues for state and federal governments. The long-term impact on generational wealth transfer is profound. The multi-generational family trust, originally designed to pass $100 million cleanly down to the next generation, was permanently fractured into two smaller, independent pools of capital, each heavily depleted by transaction friction and subject to ongoing separate corporate management fees, trust administration costs, and wealth advisory surcharges for the remainder of the decade. When we analyze historical trends across the broader United States economy in 2026, the cumulative impact of these individual asset splits is massive. Every year, billions of dollars of concentrated household capital are redirected through the family court system, functioning as a continuous wealth redistribution mechanism that sustains hundreds of thousands of high-earning professional jobs. This reality exposes the answer to the ultimate question: who truly wins the financial war when an American marriage comes to an end? The winner is not Theodore, who sacrificed massive corporate momentum and liquid reserves to protect his business interests. And the winner is not Eleanor, who had to navigate years of intense litigation to secure her independent financial future. The true definitive winner is the institutional machine itself, the highly organized, self-reinforcing network of legal, financial, tactical, and psychological architects who have engineered a system where conflict is perfectly monetized, cooperation is systematically processed, and every single friction point yields a billable hour. As we look toward the remainder of the decade, the divorce industrial complex shows no signs of contraction. The rapid evolution of digital assets, the increasing complexity of international executive compensation plans, and the shifting dynamics of domestic legislation will continue to create fresh layers of ambiguity that require the intervention of highly paid specialists. The machinery will continue to adapt, utilizing advanced algorithmic legal technology and specialized litigation funding mechanisms to capture value from every socioeconomic class, ensuring that the economic footprint of the professionals aiding the divorce journey remains an absolute, foundational force within the American capital matrix. This concludes our exhaustive 10-part deep dive masterclass into the economic footprint of the professionals aiding the divorce journey in America. We have pulled back the curtain on the multi-billion-dollar parallel economy that operates behind closed courtroom doors, breaking down the precise mechanics of asset tracing, valuation disputes, security frameworks, and post-decree wealth re-engineering. You now possess a comprehensive, institutional understanding of the financial realities behind the scenes of family law. But the transformation of wealth in modern society does not end with marital dissolution. The mechanics of asset protection, corporate structure manipulation, and the hidden systems used by the ultra-wealthy to insulate their capital from all forms of systemic risk, including litigation, taxation, and corporate espionage, run even deeper. In our next multi-part masterclass series, we are shifting our focus from the mechanics of division to the ultimate architecture of defense. We will expose the secret world of asset protection trusts, look at the step-by-step structures used to make wealth completely invisible to the legal system, and analyze the elite corporate shields designed to withstand the highest stakes legal warfare on Earth.